Well, okay, one more question. I don't know if you know much about this, but the Orthodox have several books, if I'm not mistaken, in addition to the Catholic Bible. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, they have even bigger Bibles.
Yeah, so someone out there has probably written a book, Why Orthodox Bibles are Bigger. So to tell us about that, why shouldn't we accept those books as canonical? Maybe we will one day. I guess that's another question, whether the canon is, well, so I'll let you. You're the
Yeah,
expert.
okay. Well, yeah, when it comes to the Orthodox, they rely on the Septuagint like the ancient church did. The problem was they used the Septuagint as a lectionary. And so as things continue in church history, more books began to be added to the Septuagint. Like the Odes, they were adopted in the 4th century. It's no way they're canonical scripture, but they're part of the liturgy, right? So there's these liturgical documents that were attached to the Septuagint later on. So their Bible, will include some more books than we do.
Mm-hmm.
They also adopted the North African councils, interesting enough. At the Council of Trullo and also Second Nicaea, the canons of the North African councils were adopted. So they do have standing in the East for Eastern Orthodoxy. And around, in the Middle Ages, there was actually a patriarch called Cyril Lucar who was influenced by Calvinists. He started adopting Calvinist doctrine. And part of it, he also rejected the Deuterocanon. And this is, as far as I know, this is where the East actually pronounces something on the canon. See, for the West, we had to deal with the Vulgate, and Jerome, and that's all Western Latin stuff.
Yep.
The East really wasn't affected by that until Cyril Lucar. So there were some synods in Jerusalem and Jassy. In fact, I believe they even mentioned Carthage, where they confirmed the Catholic Deuterocanon, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you talk to an Orthodox priest, chances are they'll say, yeah, we certainly hold the Deuterocanon to be inspired. The other books, they're holy books. They're in some sense scripture,
really?
but not quite equal to the other books.
I didn't know that. So the Orthodox accept the Bible we accept, for the reasons we accept it anyway, but the additional books that they have in their Bible, not in an appendix, as was the case with the King James Version when it first came out, with the Deuterocanonicals, you're saying that even though it's in the same Bible, Orthodox theologians may say, yeah, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, essentially. Because I don't think they've ever actually defined the canon.
Bloody Orthodox, not defining stuff.
Yeah, well, that's just the problem.
It's their thing.
You're talking about orthodoxies. You're not talking about the Orthodox. But, you raise an interesting question, though. Could someday in the future, like 3rd and 4th Maccabees, be accepted as scripture?
Right.
And actually, at the Council of Trent, there was a question put to the Council Fathers as to whether they wanted to condemn the books that weren't mentioned.
Yes, that's right.
As apocrypha.
And they didn't. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, they voted to be silent on it. They didn't want to address the issue because it really was a non-issue. So we end up with something kind of peculiar because they're not condemned, but they're not affirmed either. Okay. So I think, and this is just my opinion, I think there's wiggle room.
Yes.
That if the East and West ever come back together.
Please, God.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we could allow them to accept these books as long as they don't insist that they're canonical.
Okay.
So, there would be a happy peace between the two.
That's very interesting.
Thank you for watching this clip. You can click here to watch the full episode. And I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors and to our amazing patrons for making all of this possible. Please do us a favor before you go. Click that subscribe button and then the bell. And that way YouTube will be forced to let you know every time we put out a new episode.